Support WrestleTalk!
Give us a subscribe.
Hello and welcome to WrestleRamble. This is Luke Owen. I'm Ollie Davis, and today we're reviewing this week's episodes of Raw and Smackdown, including the Universal title match made for the Royal Rumble. Is Dolph Ziggler leaving WWE, and Matt Hardy plays chess with a goldfish. If you want to go straight to any of those discussions, click the timestamps in the video description below, or stay right here where we're going to tell you to buy a t-shirt.
Which you should do, because they're very cool. I know I'm not wearing mine currently. That's because I'm feeling far too festive. But you should definitely buy a t-shirt.
What I was surprised about is how much stronger I feel with the t-shirt on. I went down to the gym and I could bench press over 4,000 times more weight.
I mean, that just makes so much sense. And actually, because I'm not wearing my t-shirt, I just feel actually kind of weak and lethargic and actually generally a bit rubbish. And it's just because I've got the Christmas spirit inside me that I'm actually, I'm still going. But without this jumper, I'm not sure I'd be here right now.
Yeah, I only actually slept for 3 minutes last night in this t-shirt, and it gave me more rest than the whole of 2017 sleep combined. It really is a medical marvel and a real style statement as well. This white and black version here sort of mirrors the Wham! Choose Life design, I think.
Yeah.
And that's trendy.
Well, absolutely. I mean, what's more trendy in 2018 than Wham?
Well, you say that, but that was all around Glastonbury in 2017, so it is quite trendy.
Oh, so it's trendy.
I'll have you know.
So it's trendy amongst tossers then.
Don't insult my people like that. Yes, so before we get into the actual reviews, we're just going to go through a great balls of botch housekeeping, I suppose.
Yeah.
And that is that over the Christmas period, which is, excuse me, from Christmas Day through to New Year's Day, we won't be here. But we've made loads of awesome stuff to go up, like top 10s of 2017, top 10s for 2018, little few treats in there, some jokey, fun comedy stuff. Well, at least we hope it's comedic. And lots and lots of WrestleRambles. Yeah,
we've got WrestleRambles of your predictions for 2018 that we asked you on Twitter and Facebook to give us. Also, your favourite moments of did I say 2017 predictions? Your 2018 predictions. Your favourite moments from 2017 and your worst moments from 2017. We put those up on Twitter and Facebook, and you responded in your hundreds, and we've read most of those out on those videos, and those will be going up next week. Excuse you.
Yeah, so don't worry. We'll still have at least 2 videos a day going up. We have been making so much content over the last fortnight period.
It's been a busy week.
It's been a busy week, but hopefully it's worth it. And
Absolutely,
on Sunday, one of those bits is the challenge.
Yeah, absolutely. So we were talking about this last week. We're going to be doing the drinking chili hot sauce while reading out mean tweets. I think that's the idea.
It's combined stipulations.
Yep. Because we're not going to do the cinnamon challenge. I knew when Monday's WrestleRamble video went live, because all of a sudden I got about 40 messages from people sending me the cinnamon challenge that I did roughly like 8 or 9 years ago in my friend's bedroom. And that was quite a blast from the past, because I haven't seen the video in many a year.
Did you watch it?
I did rewatch it, yeah.
I watched it. I've never seen it. Me and my lady partner laughed at you. Not with.
Yeah.
We were definitely laughing at you.
I would laugh at me as well, because I look ridiculous as well, because I don't have much of a hairstyle. I'm completely clean shaven. I was very unwell, so I was very, very thin. And I was wearing a shirt because I just finished work and I'd gone to his house. Then suddenly realised, I can't mess up this shirt, because I think I need to wear this shirt tomorrow as well. So I had to take it off. And then I suddenly realised, wow, there's actually quite a few of these podcast videos that are up here. I don't know what any of these are like. And then I suddenly thought, man, I'm kind of lucky a little bit, because I recorded so much of my teenage years. Like, me and my friends just dicking around. We recorded so much stuff of us just pulling stunts and just hitting each other and jumping off things, jumping into things, jumping out of various things. And yeah, thankfully, that's all gone to time. Like, I have those memories, but all the video footage of that is no longer with us. At least I don't know where it is.
You're forgetting the cloud The evil Cloud never
Well,
forgets.
you see, the thing is, this was well before the Cloud was a thing.
The Cloud goes back. The Cloud works in mysterious ways.
There's a reason why I didn't do very well at my A-levels and my GCSEs while I was at school, because I was bunking off a lot so I could go and do these sorts of stunt videos.
Don't do that,
Don't
kids.
do that, kids.
Stay in school.
I'm a terrible example for this. But also, I actually spent a lot of my time editing together this film of all of the stuff that we had done over the years. It ran for about an hour and a half. And we held a screening of it in one of our media classes. And it was hilarious because it was me getting hit a lot. It was me getting, like, my back is, like, really... I've got loads of scars on my back from my various escapades. There's a bit of I used to have, like, a bit of a scar up here from when I fell off a skateboard.
On the other side?
I think it was on the other side, yeah.
Yeah, there's a little tiny dent there.
That's right. I fell off a skateboard because I stood on the skateboard and my friend pushed me at full pelt into a ladder, so I went and flew off, and then I just face planted the floor.
So was this from wrestling inspiration, or was this from like Jackass?
The latter of the two, very much so. So I was a reckless youth, and I don't want to be like the cool kids. So, like, we were doing it before Jackass, but we used to film ourselves. But we used to film ourselves doing a lot of stupid, goofy stuff. But when Jackass came out, that was when we were like, oh, maybe we can, like, edit this together, and, like, maybe we can put this to something. Maybe
there's a business model in this.
Well, I thought, I was like, maybe we can put this to music. Like, there's editing software. I got a free one with this new camera that I've just bought. Maybe we could do something. And then we went through and digitized all of our VHS stuff that we'd recorded. So, but all of that stuff is unfortunately lost to time.
The SWAF Nation are going to go out and find it.
It's not there. It's not around.
Oh, and the Cloud? you reckon you are bigger than the Cloud and the SWAF Nation combined?
I'm going to go out and I'm going to Google, because I know exactly what to search for, of the only things that I think that's definitely not on YouTube. Because we did all this stuff before YouTube was a thing. So it's definitely not on there. Maybe we loaded it to, like, those old video hosting sites. But I don't even think we put anything up on there. I don't know.
Well, let's see. You've got one more bit of Techno Team.
Yes.
For Great Balls of Botch.
Yeah, so I thought, because there was a lad at Clash of Champions who was holding up signs that for, like, Baron Corbin is the Atari Jaguar of SmackDown Live, which I thought was very funny, and he had one about now
very
you're playing,
specific.
Very specific. Now you're playing with power.
Jokes.
And then he held up one that I thought said Tecmo Team 2000, and I thought it was a reference to Tecmo Bowl, because all of his other stuff's been video game references. However, as many people pointed out, and I incorrectly read the sign, it was a reference to the Techno Team 2000, a jobber team from the 1990s.
You're fired.
Oh, right, okay.
You can't get away with that stuff.
No,
here.
I can't, no.
No.
But that's why we have Great Balls of Botch. And as some people have pointed out to me, Ghost Pepper is not the hottest chili. The Carolina Reaper is. Haha, it's a Raw review looking jacked, man!
This week's Raw opened with an underwhelming Universal title announcement, which was Kurt Angle came out, he did his usual recap shenanigans, and then Braun Strowman came out, and then Kane came out. Of course, they fought to a no contest the previous week, and then Brock Lesnar came out. I liked how Kurt ran away and made his announcement real quick.
That was the one thing I did like, yeah.
It's going to be a triple threat.
And then jumped out,
scurries away. I did like that. And then they all brawled, and Brock Lesnar stood tall. And it's not really a match anyone is excited about.
Absolutely not. No, this is, but you know, this was Vince McMahon's quest, because we're putting Roman over strong at WrestleMania 34, and the way to really achieve that is for Brock to beat monsters. So you can't go from beating Samoa Joe, Braun Strowman, and well, just those two, and then facing teeny weeny Finn Balor. So yeah, it's got to be Kane. That's got to be Kane. So you have to have Kane in there so that he can squash more monsters before Roman beats him.
It's a shame, because there's a nice little narrative here about Brock Lesnar ending Undertaker's streak. I would have liked Kane to sort of express a badass character motivation that way.
But Kane doesn't have character. Let's be honest. They don't want Kane to have a character. His character is, I'm a monster.
Yes.
And that's me.
Eviscerate.
Yeah, I am a monster. I'm not really doing my possible mayor duties at the moment, because I'm constantly travelling for WWE, and I am a monster.
I think I heard Corey Graves on SmackDown say that someone got eviscerated by like an uppercut in the corner.
Wow.
And I was like, that is not the right way to use eviscerate.
No.
I expect flames and red blood, viscous liquid, all that sort of stuff.
Yes.
But yeah, this was disappointing. But we all knew it was going to happen. Everyone sort of figured out it was going to be Braun Strowman, Kane. And it's quite transparent, even with the Dolph Ziggler stuff at Clash of Champions. And maybe that was done just to throw you off the scent a little bit, like they did by letting Rich Swann win in his hometown just before Sasha Banks, I believe, had a defence in her hometown and she had to lose. No, it was Randy Orton. That was it, going in St. Louis. But yeah, it's quite obvious Kane's going to eat the pin. Sorry, yeah, St. Louis.
St. Louis. My mate, St. Louis.
But it's a real shame considering what we could have had.
Yes.
And that is Brock Lesnar versus Finn Balor. But it's the Rumble. You don't really need to build up Brock again at the Rumble because everyone's going to watch the Rumble match, the over-the-top elimination match. That's why you put on stupid main events for the Royal Rumble.
I completely agree, but there are some people who are very, very, very defensive about championship matches should always mean something. There was when they had that last week, I said I hope it's Kane rather than it be Braun Strowman because I don't want to see Brock beat Braun again and actually be the worst thing for Brock. And I said, and actually because it's the Royal Rumble, it doesn't matter. I had quite a few very angry people get in touch with me to say a championship match should always matter. No, it was not the selling point of the pay-per-view. That's why there was a lot of people on my Clash of Champions review who were very got a bit narky because I said that the Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn tag match should have main evented because it was the bigger match. It was the match that people were actually going there to see. Whereas everyone argued that it's Clash of Champions, the champion should go on last.
In a perfect world, every match should mean something. Championship matches should mean something for the belt. Other matches should mean something for either the number one contendership for that belt or a blood feud. But they don't seem to be going either way. The answer to that is, I can't remember which, was it 2012, where CM Punk and The Rock main evented the Royal Rumble that year with the championship match there. I thought, very well deserved. And that was a huge selling point of it.
Yeah, well, it was The Rock. It was The Rock going for the WWE Championship, and he's a bigger star than the Rumble.
And you could argue that John Cena and AJ Styles was a big draw going into the Royal Rumble 2017.
Yeah, but you had that big star-studded Rumble with The Undertaker and Goldberg and Lesnar and Roman Reigns.
But I just feel, and I think we all agree that Brock Lesnar versus Finn Balor, it could have really helped carry Finn's over momentum after the AJ Styles match, but they just don't see him that way anymore.
No, we'll talk more about Finn in a bit.
So, first match was Seth Rollins, so excuse me, my cough's still pretty bad, and Samoa Joe is meant to face him. But who should come down but Jason Moaning Jordan?
All right, pass the cheese, here comes the wine.
Yes.
Bloody whinging Jason Jordan. What a brilliant character he is.
He's so good. I can't believe that people aren't getting him.
They're being worked by him.
They're being worked. He's he's so annoying. He's not a good character, and it's like, That's what he is now. That's his role. He's meant to annoy you. I think he's doing it brilliantly. And the way Samoa Joe just played the Jordan and Rollins off each other, because Rollins is like, no, I want to face Joe because, he's been a bit of a thorn in my side over recent weeks. And Jordan's there saying, oh, but come on, Seth, please.
It was great.
I'm a good wrestler. And it's like, he is a good wrestler. So, you feel for him for that. But he hasn't won a match, though, against any of these really good opponents.
And they make that point on this episode, which I thought was a really, really smart thing to do, because they've been running this narrative that, he's had great showing against Roman Reigns, had great showing against John Cena, had great showings, in the IC title match. And you're like, yeah, that's true, but he's never won anything. And I had a really, really lovely character detail for him, that he's a great wrestler, but cannot win.
So Jordan then pushed over Seth. A real, cheap shot, bitchy move, really. And Joe's like, you two should fight each other. The winner gets to fight me.
Yes.
And it's just like, Joe, you're amazing. You're a mob boss.
The final boss, Samoa Joe. Loved this.
So he's just playing them off against each other, and he puts up his seat at ringside. The actual match, and this happened twice on this show, I kind of phased out.
Yeah. Yeah, I did a little bit as well.
And it wasn't a bad match at all. And I guess it's somewhat fresh, Jordan versus Rollins. It isn't Rollins versus Sheamus or Cesaro for the upteenth week in a row. But yeah, I didn't get into it as much as I thought. And I did have to go, something would happen, and I was watching it, and everyone reacted to something a bit, what did I miss there? And I'd have to go back and, I missed that spot.
Yeah.
It was a weird sort of glazed over way I watched this
Yeah,
match.
I mean, there was some really good action in there, and I did enjoy it to a certain degree. I love his Northern Light suplex spot where he rolls through. I think that's really creative
good.
and stuff like that.
Almost as good as Alicia Fox.
Almost as good, but not quite. But yeah, I thought it was good. I thought it was all right.
So the finish was Seth Rollins kicking Joe, taking him out ringside, and then Rollins, excuse me again, got the win in the ring, and Joe took both men out.
Hitting his knee that a lot of people say it has got a name.
The knee!
But yet the commentators just go it's the spin out knee. He hit a knee. He hit his move.
It's a shame because there are so many good names you could use for it. The chief amongst it being Kingslayer. Kingslayer, which I haven't said in a while.
No, you haven't.
So this led to a segment backstage where both Seth and Dean are saying to Kurt, come on, I want Joe tonight after what he pulled just then. And then you hear Jordan's voice slightly off camera again, but I want him as well. He beat up me too, Dad. And it pans out a bit, and there's Jordan there, and Dean Ambrose makes a joke about him. And yeah, that Kurt books a 6-man tag for the main event.
Yeah, so, question.
Main event. Tell me, what do you think about it?
It's like a Raw running on half a roster at the moment. You had Finn Balor did double duty. You had Seth and Jordan doing double duty. It just really felt like Roman wasn't there. I was watching, it was like, are we working with half a roster here? Because we've got these very long matches, and we're having the same people out all the time.
A lot of people missing from SmackDown as well. There is, I guess, one reason for it could be a lot of people are working Christmas Day, so maybe they gave a few people the days off, and next week it will kind of be reversed.
But what's weird is that I can't tell you who was missing from Raw other than Roman. Like, what big stars were missing? Well, obviously R-Truth, but he's injured.
Oh, yeah, of course.
And Goldust. But yeah, what big stars are missing? Maybe they just have a really small roster and we've never noticed.
Yeah. Yeah, it was Neville. Neville.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was booked for later on. Then we had a Bray Wyatt promo. It exposed not having... I mean, it was good that it didn't keep flipping between Bray and Woke and Matt Hardy, because that's been done for 2 weeks, and it was great the first week, kind of annoying the next, so thankfully they've learned and they've not done that again.
Did they? Like, this...
Well, they didn't. They changed it up.
Hardly. Like, this was still just 2 video packages, just they weren't intercut with each other.
Well, yeah, but that was the most annoying thing. It was the intercutting with the transition playing every time.
Granted, but like we both said last week, I hope they do something new next week. They didn't. They just did the same thing, but they just split it across half the show.
It wasn't a direct-to-camera promo that Matt cut. I thought this was a good way to start drip-feeding the craziness of Matt Hardy's broken character. But we'll come on to that later. Yeah. Anyway, Bray's promo was very... It was well delivered, but again, I kind of phased out.
I've just written here, he says stuff.
He says stuff really well.
Do you know what he's really good at? He's so good at saying stuff.
It's stuff good.
Yeah.
It's not stuff bad.
He is, because he's a wonderful promo, a fantastic promo, but it's just stuff. He just said that I think he said at one point, the Great War must end. And I was like, has it even begun?
We've just been conditioned to not take anything he says. Speaking of Finn Balor?
Yes, we were speaking of him in the opening segment.
And a while ago. In my head, we were just speaking about him. That's what Bray Wyatt does to me. Start thinking about something else.
And I said that we would talk about Finn Balor because, oh man, why is Finn still feuding with jobbers? I
can't... Okay, so it's holding. So it's like just a mid-card fodder thing.
You say it's mid-card. This feels like so lower card.
This does seem to have started when Finn became quite trolly on social media about being over. You know, there was the Kane squash before then, but then once he started talking about being over and not over, that's when he had another cane squash for no reason after that Jason Jordan match. And then he was put in this feud with the Miz Taraj. I would be surprised if they're not connected.
Well, here's my thinking, and this has to be the only reason for this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to sound like a completely broken record here, but what we're saving here is for the Miz to come back, and then Gallows and Anderson join Balor.
Ooh.
And then you have the Miz Taraj versus the Balor Club. That is the only reason I can think of that's why they're doing this. Because there has to be a reason why Finn bloody Balor, keeps having competitive matches with comedy jobbers.
Yeah, I guess that would be a nice way to start building Balor back up. Intercontinental title run.
Yes.
Oh, he's not even... Miz wouldn't be... I just assumed Miz was the Intercontinental Champion.
Not anymore, mate.
He's so good with that belt. But yeah, this actual match, after beating both Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas in previous weeks, he took on them both here in a handicap match. No real reason why this match was made.
Well, he beat both of them in singles matches.
Yeah, but
in competitive singles matches.
The announcers didn't say, Finn wanted to take them both on.
No, not
or
like
that Dallas and Axel had managed to convince Kurt to do this. It was just like, here's a handicap match.
And he was just beaten from pillar to post by comedy jobbers. Like, okay, so I've written here, this is embarrassing. You wouldn't treat the Bludgeon Brothers like this. If the Bludgeon Brothers had this match, they would have absolutely destroyed them. If Braun Strowman had this match, he would have just completely ran through them. But with Balor, it's like, no, they have to dominate for 90% of it.
Yeah, it's
so bad.
It's no good, and he didn't end up more over, despite what he keeps capitalising on Twitter.
And then embarrassingly, even further embarrassingly, DQ finish. I've written here, are you effing kidding me?
No, they're not. There's a DQ finish when Dallas and Axel wouldn't stop beating Balor down, and then
they got disqualified, as a famous internet critic would say. They were disqualified for kicking too much ass.
And then Hideo Itami's music hit, to zero reaction, I would say.
Yeah, and so he's a babyface then for the 205 brand. Yeah,
I thought he would be. You know, if you're going to put him against Enzo, which is the natural feud there at the top, isn't it?
Yeah.
It was Hideo Itami didn't look impressive. I felt like he was lacking something in the ring, and I've seen like really good Itami matches and really good Itami presence, and not just back in Noah or in his first sort of NXT, or maybe even second NXT run, but this year Hideo Itami's looked pretty good.
I disagree slightly. I'd say that I thought Itami looked quite good.
Oh.
But I'm a big fan of his, and I liked it. I thought some of his kicks looked really nice. But again, this was a competitive match, which just like this, it just further brings Balor down, because now he's having competitive matches alongside cruiserweights, who are the lowest of the low, and Bo and Axel. So like Finn's he won at one point challenging for the Universal Championship to just comedy fodder.
Yeah, it is. It's baffling how they couldn't see this would be a bad idea. I guess, like, in theory, I'm trying to justify their thinking that Balor would give Itami the rub for his 205 Live debut the following night. So, I want to tune in next week because this is like Balor's mate. But what happened is that nobody, because there was no real build to Itami, like all the promo packages have been running on 205 Live, not even SmackDown from what I can remember. Nothing's been said on Raw. Not many people, the casuals who go to these live events, watch the WWE Network or NXT, so then they just get this random guy with not very good entrance music, just boring...
That's a great thing. The entrance music is awesome.
Okay. Boring black trunks, nothing about him. The only thing there, which the crowd popped for, was the go-to-sleep finisher.
Absolutely.
I know that move from CM Punk. But by then that was too little too late. It was just Finn Balor is here with this guy who we know nothing about and isn't over in the slightest. Really, really misjudged.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of this.
And I don't think it's a case of the cruiserweights breaking out of their division and can wrestle elsewhere. It was just to promote the following night.
Yeah.
Then we had backstage Renee Young and an interview with Cedric Alexander ahead of his number one contenders match. What an awful promo.
Yeah, it was a promo.
Cedric Alexander and we like Alexander, he just said the most generic WWE scripted promo. It's like a template. you look in the dictionary and you'll see this promo next to WWE scripted promo.
Well, what I picture is that the writers' room that they had with their 27 writers, they were like, we're 3 minutes short on the runtime. Can someone do a Cedric promo for us before the Cruiserweight match? And one was like, oh yeah, I'll do it. Opened up Word, started typing. Little paperclip came up and said, it looks like you're trying to write a WWE promo. Would you like some help with that? Yes, I would. Click that, and it just filled out the page for you. And it was like, insert, change these names and print. Away you go. Go learn that, kid.
Artificial intelligence is gonna ruin that writer's room. Vince is gonna realise that he doesn't need 27 people.
Yeah.
He just needs a Macintosh computer.
Yeah.
From 1987.
Or like that scene in The Simpsons when he's just got all of those monkeys on typewriters smoking. It was the best of times. It was the blurst of times.
So yeah, this was a bad promo. Maybe it's because we're watching Armageddon 2000 at the moment, where all the promos, especially from the main event, are fire.
Yeah,
absolute fire. Really great stuff, and it really makes it stand out how bad the generic promos are these days. When people aren't given a bit of a leash, a bit more freedom,
yes,
like John Cena would get or Matt Hardy's getting. So this turned into a match of Cedric Alexander versus Drew Gulak for the number one contendership. I was looking forward to this because I like Alexander. I'm invested in Drew Gulak's character and storyline with the Zoe train. And the last 3 weeks have had 3 really quite good cruiserweight matches that got a lot of time. And they focused on the action, and I enjoyed that. That's how you should get the cruiserweight division over. But what we got was an okay, quite long match, which Enzo talked over.
I'll be honest, I can't remember a single thing about this match because I was so distracted by Enzo. And what I will say is I found Enzo to be quite entertaining. I thought he was very funny. He had some really great lines. He's such a good talker. But he 100% distracted from the match to the point where he was talking over Michael Cole and Corey Graves trying to do commentary because maximize your minutes. You got to get your stuff in, brother.
His best line being, you know what's worse than getting Cole for Christmas? And Michael Cole just walked straight into it, not seeing where it was going. He said, what? Michael Cole.
Every Monday.
It's
great stuff.
That's it. Enzo's a really good talker, very engaging to listen to. But when you're a wrestler doing guest commentary, you shouldn't just talk about other things. You should talk about the match as well. And that's where it really distracted from it. Like if Enzo was talking about, Gulak should do this, Gulak should do that, here's what I'd do in that situation, this is why this hurts, giving a bit of proper experience colour to the action. But he didn't do that.
Tell you one bit that did make me chuckle though, was when Cedric hit a move and then he pointed to Enzo. And Enzo was like, why is he pointing? Who points nowadays? That's just rude.
And before, we should probably mention the opening promo to this match, where Enzo and Drew did a few bits and back and forth. Enzo mentioned his Smack Talker Skywalker line with Star Wars The Last Jedi out, and Drew Gulak brilliantly said, I've always seen myself as Jar Jar Binks.
Yes, great line.
Very, very good trolling. Drew is spectacular in this role.
Really is. And then Enzo got a DM, he got a booty call from his new bae, Nia Jax.
Yeah.
Sorry, man. And he walked off. He just got his phone and he walked away. And do you know who was the most upset about this? Corey Graves. And I thought to myself, didn't you used to do this a lot?
Yeah, good point.
During the Kurt Angle stuff, didn't you used to leave all the time? That'd be hypocritical.
Unfortunately, this distracted completely from Cedric Alexander winning.
Yeah, I forgot he won.
Yeah. So
forgot he won.
That's your next feud, Cedric Alexander versus Enzo Amore. But Enzo Amore literally walked away because he's completely disinterested in this opponent, so why should we be interested? I know there's an argument that those stories can be told, the complacent champion, but this is not telling that very well.
And that storyline would work so much better if he hadn't already lost the championship once.
But this did turn into a very funny backstage segment where Enzo is trying to flirt with Nia Jax. Nia Jax's flirting is a bit like Enzo's flirting is deep, and you've got multiple bits where he's trying to be impressive, but it's quite obvious that he's rubbish. I like Enzo's performance. Nia Jax, as much as I love her as a person, is sort of just put into this two-dimensional
smile
female interest character.
She is a smile,
which is completely at odds with the rest of her character. Like, why can't you work her monster character into also having a romantic storyline with Enzo? Because now she's just completely changed. She's just there smiling. Oh yeah, that's really nice. And where's this?
Yeah.
And okay, you tell the story. That's the way she is with just Enzo. Well, then tell that story. As soon as Enzo walks away, have Nia Jax turn round, face drop, sees like Alicia Fox, and then just beat the hell out of Alicia.
Yeah, because what happened later on in the night? Nia Jax came out full of piss and vinegar, and I'm like, that's not the same person I saw earlier. The two are very much at odds with each other. And I thought the whole point of this was to keep her away from these sort of women segments, because then you don't have that conflicting character.
I think maybe the Royal Rumble decision was actually only 1 week ago made.
I would say as well.
And that's when they decided, because that's like when they go, oh no, we should have all of the women's division get involved in these absolution segments rather than just the baby faces going against them.
I think that's a very good shout. And Meltzer wrote in the Observer that the talk of the Rumble backstage, they were talking as if it hadn't been greenlit.
Yeah.
And that was 2 weeks ago. So, and you're right, so it's just before that that turn that you said.
Anyway, we got with Enzo flirting with Nia, which was good from Enzo's performance. Drew Gulak then came in, tissue up his nose because he got blooded up in the match, and he's just talking to Enzo like, I'm so sorry, man, I'll do better. And Enzo's like, hey, ixnay on the oxnay, get out of here, kid. But because he's completely cock-blocking his thing with Nia Jax. I thought that was very funny.
I thought it was good.
Enzo's performance was superb. Gulak's was superb. It's just unfortunate that they've reduced Nia Jax to a love interest. It's like, it's the worst possible... If a movie did that, they'd be crucified by the Bechdel test. If you don't know what the Bechdel test is, it's like a measure... a sort of, what would you say, a guide?
I would call it a pointless thing that turns female characters into checkboxes rather than characters.
Okay, well, it's that wasn't the most useful thing. That opens up a larger debate.
The idea
just
being,
a one-liner would be good.
The idea being that a film should have two named female characters who have a conversation about something other than a man. If a film doesn't have those three criteria, then it fails the Bechdel test. But I think then it just turns women into a box to be checked.
I mean, the argument is that would be better than just letting it continue on as how they are.
I agree. But, Transformers passes the Bechdel test, and that film is predominantly focused on Megan Fox's rear end, objectifying her, which goes against what the Bechdel test is supposed to be.
Whereas Gravity and Alien 3 would fail, although they are quite empowering for women characters. But, I would argue those are exceptions rather than the rules. Let's not get into this now. Okay, next up we had Asuka beating Alicia Fox in about 2 minutes. What do you're a big Asuka man. So
sure
what do
am.
you think of this?
I thought it was fun until Alicia Fox took over.
Weird, isn't it, that Alicia Fox was allowed to get some offense, and it was only a 2-minute match, and Asuka won quite comfortably. But first of all, why are they booking this again? We've seen this once, and then it was meant to happen last week, and now it's happened here. So that's like 3 weeks of Alicia Fox feud.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I'm not really cool on it, but for me, like this whole match again, I've forgotten the majority of it because I'm so focused on Booker T's commentary throughout this match, where he was talking about undefeated streaks,
right?
And he kept saying, Asuka, the problem with Asuka is that because she's undefeated, she's going to start resting on her laurels. Like she needs to get her head into the game. And Michael Cole and Corey goes like, she's never lost.
Yeah,
like she's perfect. She's doing quite well. Like, she's doing fine. She's like, I think Asuka's in trouble. I think she's doing quite all right, Booker, to be honest.
He's just trying to find bits, isn't he? He's like, I'm going to make up my own narrative today.
Yeah. I'm going to make up stories because they're clearly not.
So next up, we had the main event, really. That was Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, and Jason Jordan versus Samoa Joe, Cesaro, and Sheamus, the one that Kurt Angle had made earlier in the night. So 2 people doing double duty here in Rollins and Jordan. But yes, the phasing out thing happened again for me.
This might be the longest hot tag. The longest and most uninteresting hot tag in WWE history.
Yeah.
Like, I actually groaned when Seth went for the hot tag and they pulled Dean off the apron. I was like, oh, come on. Like, let's speed this up, lads. Let's skip to the end.
All for a hope spot, but it was just completely uninspiring. And then when like when the Dean Ambrose injury angle happened, where he supposedly hurt his arm. I missed it. Like, all of a sudden the match finished. Ding, ding, ding. And I was like, wait, why are people talking like Dean's injured? I had to go back and rewatch the last 3 minutes of the match to see what happened. And I was paying attention. I just phased out.
Well,
again.
it's funny because they did the dive and then they kind of like played this up like there was this whole like confusion over the Ambrose injury, which made me like, thinking like, oh dear, I think that was legit, because Ambrose sold it really, really well when he clashed into the barricade.
Yeah.
And the commentators were playing it up like,
it was like he was angry with himself rather than
commentators were going like,
himself.
oh man, he's really got the ringside doctors came out, and then Seth just sort of looked confused and was like, okay, what am I going to do next? He went in and I think he just got bro kicked and pinned, and I've written here like quick finish. I guess Dean's actually injured then. And then when they did the angle backstage when the bar attacked him, I was like, is it not an injury? Is it not a legit injury then? Because I don't think they'd put him in that kind of situation. Turns out he was injured before the day, and they've just done this as a storyline reason to write him out. But actually, if that's the case, they did a bloody good job of it, because it worked me.
I thought it was a good injury angle. I like it when there's inventive ways to actually take out a body part. I really liked it when the Riot Squad took out Naomi the other week, where she was underneath the steel steps.
Love
and
that.
So what's that move? I keep forgetting what that move's called.
Not
a monkey flip.
No, it's catapult.
Catapult, whatever it is. Yeah, catapult.
Catapult.
So I like that. I like the way Dean's arm was crushed between the two production boxes. It just looked visceral.
Yeah, liked it.
It feels like an old Southern wrestling way to work a storyline. But yes, this might mean, going by what WWE have said, he's got a torn tricep tendon. So that's the tendon that sort of connects the tricep to the shoulder, apparently, at the back. And I couldn't really find any literature on how long it takes to recover. The closest I could find was after surgery, you have 4 to 6 months of rehab.
Yeah, that's what I Wrestling Observer posted up today, that it could be 6 months.
Yeah. So that's a real shame
he's
because
out of Mania.
And it's like a Shield person gets out of Mania every year. Usually it's Seth Rollins' job.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's Dean Ambrose's turn.
And it really felt like you were building the bar up for something. Not the bar. You were building the Shield up for something quite big at Mania as well. So
probably a Rollins-Ambrose match, I thought.
Oh yeah, probably that's where they were going to go. Yeah. So that's really disappointing for Dean. I'm quite sad for him.
But where does this leave the tag division?
Well, thankfully, we've got a couple of teams back now.
Yeah, but all heels.
Oh yeah. Well, no. Rhino and Slater are baby faces.
Yeah, but they wouldn't be a serious contender. I'm excited about that.
We're heading for a storyline, mate. That's going to be the one that's going to completely reinvent them.
You know what I would do?
What would you do?
I would hurry up the Bray Wyatt Matt Hardy storyline so they can become a team.
Yeah. Or I was going to say War Machine.
War Machine. Yep, that's a good shout.
Just skip them through NXT and just put them straight onto the main roster, or bring up someone from NXT. Although they're quite Street Profits.
Street Profits.
There you go. I've already solved the problem for you, WWE. You can take that one to the bank.
After that, we had Stephanie McMahon arriving backstage via a limo.
Yep, which means that we get to hear our entrance music at some point. Yes.
Then Woken Matt Hardy's turn to do a promo, not interspliced with Bray Wyatt's earlier. It was all 100% unfiltered Hardy, and it was the most broken Matt Hardy promo yet, in that it started with him playing chess, and he's talking about the Great War, how it's like a chess battle. He's amassing his Woken warriors, and he's talking to someone, and as the camera comes out, he's playing chess with a goldfish, and that goldfish is supposedly the reincarnation of Napoleon. I thought it was excellent. I really, really enjoyed this. Just so weird. But you're not walk us through what you thought.
Well, I've only written one note here, which is he talks nonsense. And that is pretty much my overall thoughts on the Woken Hardy character. He just talks nonsense, random nonsense, that I guess is supposed to be funny, because it's so random, but it's just nonsense.
See, I think you will like it, because what sounds like nonsense now, I was exactly the same. I was like, this is ridiculous. And then after a month or two on TNA and watching all the clips, I was like, this is really actually cool, because what he's doing, he isn't talking nonsense, although it seems like it, and it isn't random for laughs. It's like he is building a mythology and a lore around this eternal universe of conflict. And in it there's reincarnation, there's battles that have been going on for eternity. And he's bringing the WWE into this by saying that Bray Wyatt is one of these eternal warriors, like another evil spirit that he must fight for eternity as well. And it's really good stuff.
That is great in Dungeons and Dragons. It's just a bit wacky in the world of professional wrestling.
It totally is. It totally is. And I was there with you last year,
a
year and a bit ago. But honestly, if you just give yourself a bit to it, it's really rewarding.
Well, okay, so what we said earlier about Bray Wyatt. We said Bray Wyatt is a great promo, but he just says stuff. That was Matt Hardy for me this week. Matt Hardy, it was a very, very well-delivered promo, but he did it just in a wacky voice, and he said some stuff, and I thought, this is nonsense. And then the only other note I've written here is that commentators really aren't helping this gimmick.
That's annoying.
That to me, I think, sums up all the Woke and Hardy stuff. I think it's nonsense. The commentators seem to think it's nonsense. It's about the only thing that me and Michael Cole agree on.
Well, give it time. Just be open. I
really want to be open about this.
You have to be open for a while. You have to be open Luke Owen, not just woken.
Okay, I'm willing to give this a chance. I didn't see the TNA stuff, so this is kind of like my first exposure, really, like in a full thing to the Woken Hardy stuff. It's not got off to the best of starts. I thought it's been a waste of 3 weeks.
It's like when someone goes, man, you've got to watch insert television show here. I mean, the first 2 seasons aren't that good.
It's The Wire.
What?
That's
Why
what
would you say
because
The
that's what
Wire?
everyone says.
But you're gonna, like you say, you've told me you should watch Arrow, man. Arrow's really good once you get 15 episodes in.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay,
The Wire is great from the get-go.
That's not what I've been told.
Oh no,
what I've always been told is that The Wire is brilliant, but you have to get through the first season, and then it becomes really good. And then even then, second season's not that great. And I'm like, well, I haven't got...
season's the second best season.
I was like, I haven't got time to waste... Because they're all hour episodes. I haven't got time to sit there and watch like 48 hours worth of stuff before something might get good.
I disagree with everything you've been told about this.
Well, that's fine. That's fine. That's what I've been told.
The reason you have to watch quite a bit of The Wire to get into it is because the dialect is so nuanced and it's hard to understand. It's almost like you're watching a subtitled film.
I totally get that.
So you've got to eventually, it took me about 4 episodes, you click into the way they speak and it becomes awesome. But that doesn't mean the first 4 episodes aren't amazing.
And also, to argue against the point you made earlier, I did say that you have to get through the first 15 episodes of Arrow before it actually gets good. But I wouldn't actually say, I'd definitely sit down and watch those first 15 episodes, because Arrow is mediocre at best, and then just nosedived off a cliff.
Well, let's go into teams that are already together rather than our fantasy booking of Bray and Matt. And that is the Revival's return.
Yeah, the Revival are back. Well, you know, they've returned, and you've kind of already slotted them into this role where they're now feuding with the Jobbers as well. I guess that Slater and Rhino are going to get some sort of a storyline thing coming out of this. That's a good thing, because I think Slater is such a good talent, and I think Rhino's really great as well. But I thought this was a really odd return for the Revival, because they didn't look good. Because, like, every time they tried to mount offense, Slater and Rhino overcame them and just continued to beat them up. And they just looked really bad. And they won with one move. They won with the Shatter Machine. But that sort of came out of nowhere. And it almost felt like, God, they were lucky to hit that move, because otherwise they would have lost this match. That, to me, especially if the direction you're going is, like, Slater and Rhino really need to sort themselves out because they're not very good. It makes the Revival look even worse. Yeah.
Totally agree. It's WWE's really damaging 2017 way of booking matches, and that's the losing team takes 80% of the match, the winning team takes 20%, so neither team really gets over.
Yeah.
So everyone's still at the flattened level. So when the Revival were called up, really exciting stuff, loved the Revival, they debuted in a big way, and then out for injury for three months, out for injury for another 4 months after they come back, and management doesn't really bode well for you. Like, look at Sasha Banks. She's never given a long title reign because she's probably considered to be injury prone. So I'm worried that they've brought the Revival back like this because they've already kind of given up on them, and they're like, "This is
we just need bodies on the roster." And
you're just a Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson.
Yeah, it really wouldn't surprise me if that's the position we're going to be putting those into, especially because also in this match you cut backstage and you got Titus Worldwide scouting this out, and their jobbers as well. So really, you have cemented Revival there into this kind of like jobber arena around here, where it's just along the teams that don't win. I don't use jobber as like the derogatory term that a lot of people seem to think it is. It's just they're the teams that always lose.
It's not derogatory.
I did use it a little bit derogatory.
So Rhino, yes, you mentioned Rhino and Heath Slater afterwards walking backstage. Kurt Angle comes up to them.
Skipped over Titus Worldwide.
Well, with Dana Brooks glasses.
With Dana Brooks glasses.
Which you found quite fetching.
It's quite a fetching look.
Kurt Angle goes up to Slater and Rhino and says, "You've got to toughen up to survive in this division." Heath Slater gets very worried. "What do you mean he's going to fire us? I've got kids, man." Really good line. And Rhino gets a gleam in his eye and he's like, "I know just what to do." I'm hoping training montages.
I'm hoping they do training montages at the ECW bingo hall.
Oh,
that's what I want them
Heath,
to.
You need to get extreme.
That's it. I want him to go like, "This is how I was brought up in this business." Whereas and so we're going to do like ECW style training stuff.
Yeah.
Bring back like the Sandman for a comedy segment. Bring back Sabu for comedy stuff. Like, I think that'd be really fun.
That would be really fun. Why don't WWE do more skits, like sketches and skits?
And
they often get over.
And we know they watch this show because they booked the Sami Zayn heel turn.
So finally we had Elias coming out and make himself the first entry into the Royal Rumble, I suppose.
Yep, that's fine. He'll be
movement
entrance number 14, and that'll be it.
Or maybe he'll be number 1. And
he'll sing a song. Yeah, maybe he will.
Or maybe, you've got to work in a song.
That's the only thing you can do with him, really.
Yeah. Or like if everyone's down and he walks down and he sings a song.
Yeah.
Hopefully not a quick elimination for Elias. Or maybe he will do. But anyway, he started to sing a song about probably the place they are in. That's what he usually does.
Yeah, exactly. And then Michael Cole became insufferable. More so than usual. Because then Sasha Banks came down, Michael Cole, it's boss time, got really excited because they're going to do a duet. And then Mickie James came in, he's like, "She's a country and western singer. This is the best night of my life. They're all going to sing." And then Bayley came down, he was like, "Oh, I don't know if she can sing, but this is amazing. This is so great. They're all going to sing together." And then Elias just gets up and walks away. And I'm like, well, what was the point of all this?
Yeah.
Why was Elias there? Why didn't Elias just do this backstage?
I don't know.
This led to nothing.
I liked Elias's line about when the ladies came out. He was like, "Well, it looks like the ladies want to walk with Elias." I can feel that.
Yeah, but do you know what I don't like about that is when they were standing there and go like, It's like, no. If you're meant to be strong characters, beat him up, because that's not a great line.
And I also liked it when Bayley went to hug Elias. And Corey screamed on commentary, "Don't! He's unwashed!"
And he walked past her, and Bayley was just like, "No." And then she said the line, I can't believe they caught this on camera. She goes, "That happens a lot."
Oh, really?
You poor love.
Oh,
you poor love.
So then this turned into a 6-woman main event tag of Mickie James, Bayley and Sasha Banks taking on Absolution. Was this match actually teased throughout the night? Or did it just happen?
No, I think it was teased. Yes, it was teased. I remember seeing a graphic for it.
The match ended in DQ. Wasn't much of a match at all.
Complete schmoz.
Like, people just kept disappearing. Like, get knocked off. Same sort of stuff for the men's 6-man tag. And Absolution wouldn't stop the beatdown, so another DQ finish.
Kicking too much ass.
Then the whole women's locker room came down to brawl.
Actually, Nia Jax came out first. And my first notice here is like, Nia Jax is out. Pretty sure this should be Asuka.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so
as soon as you did it last week, or you set that up last week, it should have been Asuka in this position.
That's the story they've been telling.
Yeah.
Nia Jax gave a double Samoan drop,
but then
she got taken out by Paige. Then all of the women's division run down, just like they did last week. Yeah. Alexa Bliss, so the heels and the faces Fair enough. They're going for it.
If only there was someone who could put an end to this madness. If only we had someone who could just stop all these women fighting and make them stand in a line and make them then chant yes and act like they're all best friends. If only we could have that.
Luke, that's exactly what happened. And it was from our Lord and Saviour, Stephanie McMahon.
Oh, thank goodness for Stephanie.
Yeah.
Thank goodness.
So Stephanie McMahon's awful music hits. She walks down. The worst thing is that, everyone's having an actual brawl. The music hits. They all stop and look. Fine, okay? Because you kind of would stop and look, I suppose, if Stephanie's music hits. But then, don't just then neatly assemble into a hard cam facing line.
Yeah.
In perfectly for baby faces on one side and heels on the other.
Yeah.
And Nia Jax, whatever she is, in the middle. And Stephanie walks down. It was just, everyone looks so bad. Like they were naughty school kids. And Stephanie, who's not she's intimidating, but she's not a wrestler. I can't
tell that to Brie Bella.
So, and then Stephanie just came down and started to cut a promo, you women have done so much stuff. You had the first ever WWE Championship match in the month of December in Abu Dhabi. And, we had the first ever women's Money in the Bank match. Fabulous Moolah, Mae Young. And Mae Young, just all these buzzwords. And I'm sitting there going but that's fair enough. I guess it is stupid that they've all arranged themselves like this, but I guess we're going to get an announcement. And then she did. We're going to have a Women's Royal Rumble match. And I was like, that's pretty good. And then what should have happened, because all the other stuff you don't really end with. It's all about that lasting image, big announcement, so kind of nullifies everything before, and then you want a good closing image. And the closing image I would have done is have both, or all the women sort of square off to each other, being really angry and mean because they're going to compete in a Royal Rumble match. Awesome. But they don't. They all start hugging and crying, and Stephanie McMahon says, now's a good time for a yes chant.
Yeah, let's lead the crowd, shall we? Because we were expecting someone to start already. So I better tell you to do it now.
And they all start doing the the yes chant. Stephanie hugs Nia Jax. People are crying. It's they're offering up their babies. It was just so. It was so patronising,
so cringy and hokey,
yeah.
So hokey. I've written here, this is really stalling storylines. And then my final note of the night, I've got Royal Rumble. Yes, effing stupid to see Absolution do this though. I loved what you said then. They kind of square off. They all look mean. They all look like they're competitive because they all want to win the Royal Rumble. They want to be the first person to win the Royal Rumble. And then why didn't you have a bit of a brawl? People being thrown over the top rope. Build to the Rumble.
Naughty Luke. Luke.
Do apologise. It's because I read it in my notes.
You didn't say it though, did you?
A little bit.
That you said it a little bit.
Do
we need to censor
I've
that?
censored it.
Okay,
Yeah.
Censored it. Or maybe Stephanie McMahon gets knocked over.
Oh well, no.
In the ruckus.
No, that'd be her getting involved might even cause her some comeuppance.
It's just, it's really, really stupid because, and if anyone's thinking, oh yeah, but it's a nice announcement, we're getting a Royal Rumble, it's all okay, and you think, oh, it's progressive, so that overrides anything that happens. Is it really progressive? Because how would they have treated this if it was a men's first thing? Would you seriously lead all these feuding men, heels and baby faces, in a yes chant and hug Vince McMahon or hug Shane McMahon and, all get on nicely together? No, you wouldn't, because that is patronising, and what you've done is you've treated the women's division like they are this, well done we're catching up with where we should have been about 2 decades ago. It's really, really just nasty because they're just trying to cover it up with more corporate speak.
I completely 100% agree with you. I thought it was a very, very... It's a great announcement because, I've been asking for a Women's Royal Rumble. I've been hoping we're going to get one all year long. I can't wait to see it. I think it's going to be a really, really great match. And I'm more excited for that than I am for the Men's Rumble. But this was just the wrong way to do it. Like, surely a better way to do this would have had the characters decide this.
Yeah.
So, like, it'd be done through storyline reasons rather than just Stephanie saying it was her idea.
We're just going to do some quick Patreon shout-outs in between the two reviews. You can click the timestamps if you want to skip this bit. Don't worry, we're not forcing you to watch this bit. But thank you very much, the chairman of the board, Jer Personen.
Daniel Bram let the dogs out.
Jonathan, the headmaster Headman.
Alexander, the barrister Barrington.
Seaborn by the Waters.
Jason, the exalted one Jones.
Quiet Riot, Wyatt Family.
Mr. No Nickname Needed, Blaine McCool.
Oh. Machine Gun, Dustin Sabecki.
The King of Trios, Sebastian Hernandez III.
The most decorated E-Fed champion of all time, Casper Sanchez.
The Unbreakable Joe Cage.
Gabriel the Mark Jones.
Jamie Ring the Bell.
Killer Abraham Kasha.
Wall-to-wall action Dan Wallace.
The Automan, Garrett Lowe.
The Fallen Angel Christopher Dean.
The Ram, Ramius.
Brawling Brian Crisser.
Already in the ring, PJ Stool.
Catcher's Catch Can Connor Simmons.
Ralph Green as grass in the ring.
The Notorious One Shane O'Krellin.
The best commentator in wrestling history, Josh Matthews. Not that Josh Matthews.
Russell Weathers the Storm.
Get the tables, Jason Lee Wood.
Nikolai Burger with Cheese.
Abdullah the Butcher Alenzi.
And the Demon Baron Tom Roberts. It's a Smackdown review, Maggle. I love it. We got us a flying Uso.
Smackdown opens with what I think is the best segment of the week in WWE.
Would I say it's the best segment?
Bold claim right out there at the start.
Is it better? Can I say that the tag match was a segment?
Yeah.
Then that was the best segment.
I disagree. I think this is the best match or segment of the week, Raw and SmackDown.
This was the best storyline creating segment because I thought this was pretty terrific.
So Daniel Bryan comes out. Pretty smart. He's smartly dressed, and he sort of runs through the show. He does what Shane McMahon usually does, getting the cheap pop and saying the name of the town. Didn't do a few feet shuffles, but he definitely super baby faced it up, which is at odds with the sort of heel tease that he did at the end of Clash of Champions. Plugs the Women's Royal Rumble match. There's going to be a lot of that.
Oh, absolutely. We're hashtag making history.
Announces the main event of Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Jinder Mahal versus Shinsuke Nakamura, Randy Orton and AJ Styles. And then Shane comes out.
Do you know what's funny about the announcement of that main event? Kind of ties into later on in this promo. He announces it's going to be Kevin Owens, boo. Sami Zayn, boo. Jinder Mahal, boo. So they booed Kevin and Sami. Later on, when they're talking about Kevin and Sami being fired, they boo that idea and cheer the fact that they weren't fired. I was like, you were just booing them a second ago, you fickle little...
They tried.
Missing expletive there.
Naughty Luke again.
I didn't say anything though.
That they tried to play along, but then they realised, oh no, we like the more interestingly booked characters, regardless of whether they're heels or faces. So yeah, Shane comes out. He's also doing the super babyface routine, despite Clash of Champions. Doing the feet shuffle, shaking hands at ringside with a few people. I'm surprised a baby wasn't offered, and he didn't. It was like proper full-on presidential campaign stuff.
Yeah,
and then Shane says, he sort of recaps what happened at Clash of Champions.
We just saw in a video package.
Saying that he wanted Owens and Sami Zayn gone. But he explained his actions, like his thinking behind it, because when he saw them about to lose their jobs, when Randy Orton hit that RKO on Sami Zayn and he had the pin and Shane was counting 1, 2, 3, he was like, yes, I'm going to get rid of the people who headbutted my dad. I'm going to get rid of the person who, cost me the Hell in a Cell match and I had a very dangerous stunt. And, of course, most crucially, who cost Team SmackDown Survivor Series.
Because they definitely did.
And it was interesting stuff. I sort of felt for him then. I could see Shane's side. And I thought that Shane's performance was so much better than usual.
Absolutely. To his credit, I thought he was really good. I thought Bryan was really great in his role. I thought Shane was very good in his role. But what I really loved about this segment, because you had this, but the actual ending of the segment felt like a really uneasy, awkward truce, where it was just like Shane essentially said to him, was like, if you're forming an alliance with Kevin and Sami, just watch your back. And like Daniel Bryan kept saying, I didn't do this for Kevin and Sammy. I did this for SmackDown. I did this to save you from yourself. Also, apparently the storyline is that Kevin Owens didn't push Daniel Bryan. He tripped. That they said that's quite explicitly in the text, is that he tripped into Shane.
Weird.
Yeah, very weird. But he was like, I'm doing this to save you from you. I'm doing this to save the integrity of SmackDown Live, the vision that you and I had. But Shane can't see past that. All he sees is that you're definitely forming an alliance with them. You're going to stab me in the back, but they're also going to stab you in the back. So you need to watch out for that. And it was this really awkward, uneasy, the segment felt like it ended abruptly, but that was all by design. I thought it was really, really well done.
Really, really well done. Yeah. And after Shane said his, he was like, now I've explained what was going through my head, what was going through yours. And yeah, in addition to all the stuff Daniel Bryan said, he also said, because this is the land of opportunity, that's what we wanted to create here.
Yeah.
That's why I agreed to be the general manager of SmackDown, but you're not giving everyone equal opportunity. You're giving it to the people you like.
Yeah.
And that was like such a killer line. But you can also, so that's totally justifiable, Daniel Bryan's motivation. But so's Shane's.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, the Survivor Series thing is nonsense. But the Hell in a Cell and the Vince McMahon headbutt are definitely valid character motivations for Shane to want these people gone. It's like when the personal is the micro conflicted with the macro, the personal with the court, with like what's the right thing to do. It's like, I would say I would never murder anyone. Murder's wrong. But then if someone killed like my dad or my, a family member or loved one, I would probably try and kill them back.
Yeah.
Because rationality goes out the window. So it was really fascinating stuff. And Daniel Bryan is such a consistently told character. And that there was something weird about this SmackDown. And that was how much attention to continuity they had. And that the line about Owens and Zayn will betray him. When Owens and Zayn talked to Bryan backstage later, they mentioned his feud with Randy Orton, how Randy Orton used to be part of the Authority, how they tried to break Bryan down. And I was like, Bryan has always, this desire to make things based on opportunity is at its root from Daniel's experience in WWE, where the Authority tried to get rid of him and he wasn't given the opportunity. Whereas if it was an equal playing field and everyone was pushed on a meritocracy, he would have gotten up there. It's really, really good stuff.
There is a great line in this promo when Shane McMahon says his piece about why he did the things he did, and Bryan just kind of pauses and goes like, I've heard this before. What you're saying is this is best for business.
Yes!
And he's like, I don't want to see I don't want to see Shane McMahon become Mr. McMahon. It was a really, really great, just great back and forth between the two. I thought this was a really great segment. And
Money line, man.
Some really great nuances in there, as you just said then. I loved it.
Yeah, really, really good. I really, really enjoyed this. I just like it when this is shades of grey in the best possible way, where you can see both sides of the argument, and yeah, really good. But whoa, the Bella Twins YouTube channel has just passed 1 million subscribers.
So I mean, we're coming for you.
Brilliant.
We're coming for you, Bellas.
Well done, Bellas. I'm sure that's quality content you put in there. It is. It's good for the Daniel Bryan stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Where he's just like, yeah, I'm going to leave. I'm going to wrestle. Here's me taking some bumps.
Yeah.
Next up, we had the Usos beaten by Shelton Benjamin.
Say probably.
Shelton Benjamin.
Thank you very much.
And Chad Gable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Usos dominated early, but there was a spot in this match that I almost popped out of my seat. And it was when one of the Usos was going to do a tope, and Shelton Benjamin out of nowhere, boom, a high knee, just took him out the air. I was like, that's amazing. That's the sort of thing you should have saved for pay-per-view, because that was a really great spot.
He's like, he jumped one leg up onto the apron and then just clobbered his knee.
He looked like a superhero.
It was amazing. It shades of Kenny Omega's knee. When he does the running knee into wherever, really, and he just launches himself into
the stratosphere.
Yeah. That was really, really good.
There was a really great near fall from, there was a bit of a confusion, and then one of the Usos tried to do a splash, but Gable got the knees up, and you're like, I bought into it as a finish, but the other Uso broke up. I thought there was some really great stuff in this.
It was a good match.
A good TV match.
And that was a good spot. But overall, my feeling was, this again. We've just had that 4-way where I thought that might reset the tag division, some new feuds. Really, you want to go with Rusev Day. I know they had some good stuff later on, but why are we going back to the feud from the last month where we've seen this match in multiple combinations, loads of times? It's just going to be this through to the Rumble again, isn't it?
Yeah, that I will agree with you. I think is a bit of a downside of this. However, Gable hit some really nice Chaos Theory suplexes.
Yeah,
so all is forgiven.
Yeah, that is a good response. And again, this was a commercial break heavy match where all the good, or not all the good stuff, but it was really only like a minute of opening and then the 5-minute exciting finish. So I'm worried that it's going to condition audiences to only enjoy the 5 minutes of finish, and people are going to be quiet.
I think that happens regardless. I think that's already happened. So but I thought it was a good TV match.
Next up, we had, and it'll probably be, they beat the champions, they get a title shot. A women's Royal Rumble video package recapping the "I think it's about time we did a yes" chant, and Charlotte did a promo thanking the fans for the women's Royal Rumble match.
This was not a great promo. No. And then Naomi came out and also cut not a great promo.
She's not a good promo, is she?
No. I mean, I think she sounds more natural than some. I mean, let me put it this way. Let me put some positive on this. She cuts a better promo than Sarah Logan.
I've shared, oh man, with the gay meat. You ever tried?
It's a vegan, you div. But I didn't think Naomi was particularly great. Although Chickenhead managed to get over, which I don't think anyone was expecting because it wasn't in the script, because they broke character and laughed.
Not the only time someone breaks character and laughs in this show. No. Do you know the other one? No. Oh, we'll come on to it later. It's really, really good. So this turned into a tag match with Ruby Riott and Sarah Logan because Liv Morgan can't wrestle yet. It was a tag match. I'm going to get a lot of heat for that.
I hope the lad that kept having a go at me for saying it comes after you now.
And this was a very short match. And Naomi pinned Sarah Logan clean. Yeah.
And they also botched their hot tag as well. Because I think that Sarah Logan was meant to pull her back while she was reaching, but she reached too far and she actually tagged Charlotte. So while they were building, they didn't even start the build to a hot tag. They just did it, and then the crowd weren't ready to kind of react to it, so there was no reaction when she got in the ring. It was a bit messy. But to your point, I actually said this in the Smackdown review, that there's been this criticism that Absolution and the Riot Squad are basically just a carbon copy of each other. But now there's one key difference. WWE are protecting Absolution, and they've given up on the Riot Squad.
I guess so, but at the same time, you also had the Absolution doing the yes chant with everyone in the ring, so they're a bit weakened in my eyes as well.
Yeah, but that'll be forgotten about by next week. In WWE's eyes, anyway. But I feel like them, in matches they've had like DQ finishes, or they've won. They have been very well protected from anything they've done. They've always got the advantage because they've got the numbers. But Riot Squad, it was just like, you just lost now. It was like they had that one promo spot, and I think now they're just, we're giving up on them.
It's a shame, because I thought the Riot Squad was the more interesting of the two, actually. This was a bad match with a potentially very damaging result. Bad booking.
Yeah, this was not good.
Next up, however, we did have some good stuff, some festive, flippant fun.
I laughed so much throughout this.
New Day walking around backstage dressed as
a gingerbread man, a reindeer, and an elf.
Thank you. And they're handing out pancakes because that's their thing at the moment. And they are confronted by Rusev Claus and Snowman English, who are also dressed up. And Rusev's like, I'm going to give people what they really want. Unfolds the shirt. A Happy Rusev Day t-shirt.
Rusev looks so happy in this role.
He makes me happy.
It doesn't, because he's just got this huge smile on his face, particularly when Aiden English is singing. He just looks like he's having a ball. Like, this is the best time he has had in quite some time in WWE. And he's loving this gimmick. And it's so wonderful.
Who could have, we were talking about crazy predictions the other day. 2-3 years ago, when Rusev is this Bulgarian brute killer, especially down in NXT, who would have thought that he'd be this super over babyface with a winning smile?
Yeah, he's still a heel.
Yeah. I mean, I can't see that holding for long,
It's not going
though.
to hold for long, but they are still heels for the time being. But I thought this was so funny. I laughed a lot.
It was very
I
funny.
laughed a lot during this.
Well, you've got 5 very talented, funny people in there. New Day are very funny when they're not ramped up to 11. And Rusev has bants, I believe people say.
Yep.
And Aiden English is no slouch with
No.
comedy.
Guy was great. This was really great.
And when Rusev got the T-shirts out, he stamped on the pancakes. That got me as well.
He threw a pancake as well and just kept stamping on it. It was really great.
So this got Big E very angry.
Yeah.
And this was a very quoted line in a lot of the reviews I read. "You done flipped the wrong jack, sucker."
How awesome.
So this was setting up the match later on.
Yeah.
But then we got like one of the most intriguing segments of the week, where Dolph Ziggler comes out and this is his US title celebration. He's still got the gimmick where the music goes with the record scratch,
Which means they
play.
definitely messed it up a couple of weeks ago when they played this whole entrance theme.
And he's like, here is, this is my first title reign. I've actually won it here. And he showed a clip of when he beat Kofi at Capital Punishment.
Your favourite.
Yeah, what a brilliant name for a pay-per-view.
Yeah, they realised that mistake eventually.
Ran through all 5 of his Intercontinental title reigns.
All of which happened mostly in 1 year.
Yeah, 20... Yeah, I can't remember which one it was. 2013?
2013 or 2014.
Yeah. Last year's Intercontinental title win, which was really good. That was when he had that career versus title match against The Miz. Really into that. The 2012 win at Money in the Bank, and then the cash-in, the Raw After Mania in 2013. It was almost like he heard your comments about Dolph Ziggler never accomplishing anything in WWE and structured the first half of his promo around it.
Well, if he did watch that and structure the first half of his promo around it, I think it just proves my point. Because all it showed was just that, look at all I've accomplished. Nothing. I've won some titles, I've then lost them, and I've been in the exact same position the entire time. I've never been elevated, I've never gotten to a main event level, I've just been in walking mode for the entirety of my WWE run, apart from when I was in the Spirit Squad, when I actually was in main events.
I think you're being very unfair there, because he has accomplished something, and those are moments, and several of those moments I hold very dear.
Yes, but you, of all people, are someone who was all about, it's not about moments.
Oh, but some of those are at the ends of really good storylines.
Such as?
The John Cena, AJ Lee, Big E ladder match where AJ Lee turns and sides with Dolph. He wins the title there. The Miz storyline.
That was
build
one.
into
That was
the
one.
title.
I said in my review, this is the most interesting he's been since the summer of 2016.
So anyway, he does this and he runs off all these accomplishments, and then he says, but, you crowd are rubbish. You don't deserve me. So, bye.
I'm off.
He laid the US title down that he just won the night before and walked off. Fascinating.
Yeah, it's interesting to see where this is going to go.
Where do you think it's going to go?
Dolph Ziggler out of WWE? No, I'm kidding. No, I'd like to see this become I don't know where this can go, because you got to is he laying down that title because he's like, well, I deserve bigger and better. I want to go for the WWE Championship and have a bit of a main event run there.
Ziggler Styles feud.
Yeah, Ziggler Styles feud, maybe.
It's a Royal Rumble match.
Yep, when championship matches don't mean that much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe that's where you're going to go. But I thought this was actually quite intriguing.
Well, that's it. I don't know where they're going to go either, and I hope they've got something good. It's definitely intriguing. Next up,
this was much better than him doing entrances.
Yeah. Next up, we had Daniel Bryan backstage, and Sammy and Kevin Owens give him a champagne bottle. They're like, "Thank you so much for your Clash of Champions stuff," which that was fun, but they could have done so much more for this. So, just 2 ideas, Luke. A little touch. That champagne bottle could have been in a crappy blue plastic bag. Mm-hmm. So it could have been, they build it up as a big thing, sort of teasing that they are nasty people. Or they hold a full-on Daniel Bryan celebration in the ring.
Yeah. Maybe they'll do that next week.
Daniel Bryan, this is your life. Yeah. And it didn't work with Bliss and Bayley, but those 3 could definitely make it work.
Yeah.
Festival of Daniel Bryan, play off the Festival of Friendship, bring back Magic the Magician.
Great ideas.
It's just there was so much there, and they didn't it was just one little backstage skit.
Yeah, no. Oh, well, for now. Maybe they're going to do something big. Well, they probably won't.
Well, but this
maybe...
is off the pay-per-view, so now's the time to do
but
it.
like the way that this segment ended was just that Daniel Bryan said, and it's another great moment based on the promo at the start, which is when Shane was like, if you're forming an alliance, they'll stab you in the back. He's not forming an alliance. He flat out told them, if you two don't stop gloating, I will fire you. So maybe it's like they need to be like, well, we need to get Daniel Bryan on our side. Now we're going to hold like the Daniel Bryan celebration.
That could work, I suppose. But this is where they pointed out the Randy Orton stuff in the Authority feud. Like, oh, you did the fast count for Orton because you hate him from all those years ago, right? So that was really, really good stuff. And also KO saying, yep, after everything Sammy pointed out.
Yeah.
The yep movement lives.
And Daniel Bryan doesn't drink, so he handed the champagne back.
Next up, do you want to do this one because you loved it?
I loved. This is my match of the week. Absolutely.
Match of the year. It's a shame we've done the 10 best matches in 2017.
I nearly said this in my review. It's such a shame because this was. I had so much fun watching this match. It was the New Day versus Rusev Day. In a Christmas comedy spectacle, where you've got them all in these crazy costumes, and you've got Kofi doing "You Can't Catch Me, I'm the Gingerbread Man," and you've got Woods on the outside shouting, "You can't catch him, you can't catch him, he's the Gingerbread Man," but they're still chasing after him. You had them knocking Rusev and English out of the ring and getting Santa's sack, which wasn't full of Rusev Day t-shirts, it was full of New Day t-shirts and Rusev's pants that have Rusev Day written on them.
In just pen.
Just like wonderful, goofy comedy stuff. I mean, although I have written here, pure comedy, this is gold. But it built up to the big high spot of the match.
The cherry on top, you would say.
Maybe you would. The big high spot of the match is when they had the big plate of pancakes at ringside on the announcers table.
Which they cleared. They cleared the announcers table like they're going to put someone through it.
I thought they were going to put them through the pancakes or put the pancakes through the table.
Yeah.
But they laid it on the table and then they got this whipped cream out and you've got Rusev standing there going like, put the whipped cream on, more, put all the cream on. And he's just like there, just like spinning all this whipped cream on, and then he stands back and Rusev dramatically, because it was so good because the commentators go like, cherries, of course you put cherry on there, just the one. It was a big dramatic drop down. It was like, that's just the one. And then they tried to put Xavier Woods into the whipped cream pancakes, but Xavier Woods fought valiantly back, and they knocked out Rusev, and then they hit a flapjack into the flapjacks. This was wonderful, and Aiden English is selling. He had the whipped cream all over his face, and then they threw him back in the ring, hit a big diving elbow. 1, 2, 3. This was awesome. This was so great.
It was really fun. It's weird how what works and what doesn't. Like, because I really, really enjoyed 2016's 4th of July episode of Raw from top to bottom, and that was the one where Kevin Owens got the pie in the face. Actually, was that? No, that was Raw. And a lot of people were like, "What are you talking about? This was awful. A throwaway episode where nothing happened." I was like, "But I had so much fun." In awe, one thing go that high, but comedy wrestling, it doesn't have to further stuff every week, and this was a real good example of that as well. However, like, you see the flip side where it can go wrong. I'm thinking the Halloween match with the club,
the trick or treat fight
from Raw.
That's
this
exactly
year.
The first thing I thought of then when you said sometimes this can't go right. And they did it twice, the trick or treat fight with Gallows and Anderson, and both years it has been an absolute disaster.
Yeah.
However, this, I think when you've got the right people doing it, and you had the wacky New Day and wacky Rusev Day, this was just, it was, mwah, and loved it.
The crowd are so willing to buy everything that Rusev does right now, that helped a lot.
Like, they weren't
because they just want to cheer him.
Yeah.
They just want to chant Rusev Day.
No one was booing it. Everyone was like really into all the big spots that they did. And when Xavier Woods did his big diving elbow, Byron Saxton said, "A reindeer can fly."
Yeah.
Even the costumes they picked out were right.
So
and Corey Graves kept making Elf jokes. He kept saying lines from Elf.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, there was a point when they were talking about the pancake stuff, and he was like, "That's because Rusev Day know all the the 4 main food groups: candy canes, syrup. I can't remember the 4th one."
Brilliant.
And then at the end of it, Like, the match was over, and Corey goes randomly out of nowhere, goes like, "Good news, I saw a dog." It's just so good.
The only thing I would change is, is after Aiden English's facebuster or flapjack into the flapjack, is Rusev just then murders someone in the ring and picks up the win. Because I think Rusev Day is the... I know this is going to be forgotten about.
I was going to say, this was a comedy match, and as a comedy match, the baby faces should win.
Yeah, I guess so. So this is the other corpse, right?
Oh, yeah?
So obviously so much fun was being had by all down there in the ring. And Tom Phillips is thrown to the Total Divas Maurice vegetarian clip again that we'd already seen on Raw. And as he's building up...
I skipped it both times.
Oh, did you? Well, you missed this bit then. Because as Tom Phillips is looking at the camera and saying, well, we've got The Miz and he's eating steak and boring stuff, Corey is standing there smiling at something off camera and looking at the camera and then looking behind the camera. And then he mouths, "Don't do it." and you can see like one of the New Day with a pancake like threatening to throw it in his face, and then it cuts straight to the clip. But Corey is trying so hard not to break. I'll show it to you after.
That's so great.
It's really funny. And then we had the main event of Randy, Shinsuke, AJ versus Jinder, KO, and Sammy. It was similar. It was like a throwaway thing where the baby faces won. It just didn't have all of the fun.
What this was a house show main event. It was all the big stars are in the ring together. The heels dominate, and then the baby faces make a comeback. They hit all their trademark spots, and they win. And the crowd goes home happy. You're right, completely throwaway stuff. I thought it was fun, it was fine, but man, it was nowhere near as good as the Rusev Day match. But it was a perfectly fine main event.
It was fun and it was fine, but was it what you needed coming off the back of a pay-per-view where there's intrigue in this story?
No, but...
where the heels...
Yeah. Well, I was expecting something at the end. I was kind of waiting for them to cut backstage to a Daniel Bryan, Shane McMahon thing, or something with Kevin and Sammy, but they didn't. This felt like this show was meant to be next week. When you're on the Boxing Day week, or when you're on the Christmas or Boxing Day.
Even more throwaway.
Even more throwaway, but that's what it felt like. But it felt like that sometimes they had to do this stuff here because you can't do Christmas stuff on Boxing Day. So you had to do it here.
I guess so.
But by the way, I thought the main event was quite good.
It was enjoyable wrestling, I liked that. I liked how Sammy high-fived Jinder on the way down. Jinder had a big grin on his face. I thought... forgot I wanted you to be a babyface. You'll be a good babyface eventually. Nakamura and Zayn in the ring is just magic.
Christmas.
Love watching them both.
Yep.
Nakamura's armbar transition is equally a thing of beauty. But yeah, just where's the cliffhangers? It's like SmackDown has forgotten how to do cliffhangers. What they do is they end, and then they've got about 3 minutes of people celebrating and replays.
Yeah.
Which isn't the most engaging thing to make me want to tune in next week. It provides too much resolution. And fine, you can do that, here and there, but don't make that the pattern.
Yeah, no, I completely agree.
So click the eye above our heads to vote for which one you preferred, Raw or SmackDown, and we will reveal the results in the WrestleTalk news. What about you, Luke?
I mean, do you really need to ask?
Probably Raw, right?
Oh, well, obviously, yeah, it was all for that Finn Balor stuff. No, of course, it is SmackDown this week. I thought SmackDown was a hell of a lot of fun, also with some great intrigue from the Dolph Ziggler stuff and the Bryan and Shane stuff. But that tag match, man, I had such a blast watching it. I'm going to watch it again. I enjoyed it that much. And in fact, I never rewatch stuff that's been on Raw and SmackDown, but I'm definitely going to rewatch that again.
I always think you need 3 really good segments to make a good, a solidly average episode. Nearly almost 4 out of 5. And yeah, it had the opening Bryan and Shane segment. That Dolph Ziggler thing's really interesting. And the tag match was really fun.
Yeah.
And Rusev Day's super over.
But because I'm so full of festive cheer, I had to go. They made me even more excited for Christmas.
Whereas Raw, it felt a bit repetitive. The matches were long. The good stuff felt few and far between. And the big announcement to end on was really misjudged.
Yeah, really misjudged.
A good announcement, terribly delivered.
100% the exact way to put it, without swearing.
Yes. Naughty Luke. But that's all we've got time for today. Please click the videos that have just appeared below us to catch up with the latest WrestleTalk news or WrestleRamble. Support the show, WrestleTalk.
Never
You
get
were
there.
really good at the plugs
Thanks,
the other
man.
week.
It's when we used to do the
but I
movie
never got
podcast.
them.
That's why I used to do them.
Yeah. Podcast, Patreon, T-shirts, magazine,
Christmas.
Facebook, Twitter,
Christmas.
podcast.
Holidays.
Merry Christmas.
Happy holidays.
Luke Owen, Ollie Davis. We'll see you on Saturday and then again on Monday for our Christmas special. And we've got loads of stuff going up. And that was Rambling.